Hey guys, how's it going? Tubel here with another kind of video I've never done before. I've been asked by a few people who want to get into the union class to sort of teach them the basics and what's a good thing to start with. So I will try my best. I don't think I'm the best to teach with this game, but I do know a fair bit. So I'm just going to take it step by step. I apologise if this video is very long, but anyway, so let's get into it. Okay, so first thing we're going to cover is medals, because they're an essential part of the game. So you've got your random medals starting from tier 1, you've got tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, so on, and we've recently just had our first tier 8 in global. So you got your tap medals, and they do all different buffs, debuffs, and also attacks. Then we will go to more of the basic ones that help you level up your medals. So you've got your Huey, Dewey, Louie's, and the corresponding medal levels up the corresponding medal, basically. Like Huey's will level up your power, Louie's speed, and Dewey's your magic. And then of course you have got the Huey, Dewey, Louie medal, which you can use on all three. These ones, in my opinion, are the best ones because they level up your medals so much quicker. So I'll show you an example. No, I've not fully leveled up. Alright, we haven't leveled up this medal, so we'll quickly use this one. So you would basically put these on your medal, level it up, and whatnot. And you do need money to level up your medals. Same with putting other medals onto others, you need money. Evolving medals, you need money. So everything all cost. Then we'll go back to these medals. Now you'll come to your Scrooge Medals, which are basically your skill medals, which you would put on your attack medals. So for example, this one's a defense boost 4, so it's a defensive skill. So just for example, your best kind of medals to put on these are probably copycat medals or your buff medals, so on and so forth. But with how I work with some of mine, like second chance 3, I always flat out put these on my main buff and medals, because I use those medals all the time, and when you die you'll get resurrected. But you got all different kinds. You've got attack boost 5, attack boost 6, that one is. But your best skills normally would be your max ones, because they will activate every single time. Because if you just go for a flat out attack boost 6 or 5, they aren't always guaranteed they're going to activate. So that's basically your experience medals and your skill medals to put on your medals, basically. Okay, next medals I'm going to cover are your Chippendales, mirrors, and Venthaven Winkies. Right, so your chip ones are basically increase extra strength on your medals. Where you see here, this is your strength, this is your defense, so you can add an additional 1000 strength and defense onto your medals. And again, you are going to need money to pretty much increase the strength on your medals. But I need to eventually do this one anyway, so I'm just going to show you as an example. So see, it's already got an additional 750 strength on. Chippendales are pretty easy to get in the game a lot of the time. You get weekend raid bosses, level 10, if you work with your party, you can get additional chips and dales together on the level 10s if you tap them together. And then see, that's the defense of the medal going up. Also, I just learned something new myself recently. With the smaller chips and dales, you can evolve them if you have enough. Like this one, I can evolve this one into the 5-star version. Right, moving on. Magic mirrors are basically increasing this, which is your guilt. It's a special attack bonus skill on your medals, which makes the medals so much stronger. You do want to make sure you want to max guilt your medals. So, see, and this is a tier 6, I believe, yeah, tier 6. So, tier 6 are only going to go up to 180%, tier 7 is 200, the new tier 8 is 230, so on and so forth. Now, Fantasia Mickey B's are a lifesaver in these games. So guilting medals basically is these, which when you get 5 of them filled and then an additional 6th slot filled, that's when you can unlock your guilt percentage and basically make the medal much more stronger. And then this percentage here, which you might be wondering, this is a temporary booster that they not long, a few months ago, introduced into the game, where like certain medals, so this one's a magic medal, you get magic booster, it increases the guilt on your magic medals. So say this was 180% maxed out, this one, this has an additional 40% guilt, so it's even stronger. And of course, basically the best way to guilt your medals is basically put an additional copy of the same medal onto your medal, or you can use these medals, Fantasia Mickey B's. Though I don't recommend just putting them on any medal. I would either put it on, like, only use them on copycat medals, because copycat medals are a lifesaver in the game, because you can copy anything and make such powerful setups with them. Unless you've got like an array EX medal, I would recommend using on them, or like a really strong medal that will just be a real powerhouse for you. But additionally, this is what raises your guilt. And also, if your guilt doesn't go up very high, you can re-roll the guilt with these as well, but I don't recommend doing that either because it is a massive gamble. And the best time to guilt medals is a guilting campaign, where like with this one at the moment, the minimum on this one it could go up to is 100 to 180, while with the guilting campaign it will give you a higher percentage to guilt on that medal. So, and another thing, when you do guilt medals, so with extra copies of the medal you can roll traits like these, for example, and there are 11 different traits in the game. Depending on the medal, so say you had a buffer medal, which I will have a look for one right now. So Kyriak's one of the most powerful buffers in the game at the moment, and she does a lot. If you manage to get like extra attack on a medal like this, you're lucky. And then other medals that are very good to have certain traits on. I'm just trying to think of one medal that I have. For example, this medal has negative 60 air, which in most cases when you fight enemies, it will deal that much more damage on aerial enemies. And there is negative 60 ground, which deals much more. You can deal much more damage to enemies that are on the ground. I don't know if I'm explaining this stuff very well at the moment, but saying traits, depending on what kind of medals, so really strong attack medals, like these ones for example, negative 60 air and ground are like a must, or 1000 strength. The worst traits you can get in the game, which I'm trying to find another example. Oh yeah, my Kyrie medal. She got Defense 2000. That is one of the worst traits you can get in the game because it really just does nothing for you. Absolutely nothing. Another medal. I know. Oh, I know the perfect one. I know the perfect one. Is my KH3 Mickey EX, which you got for free. You got a free one when we had the event back in February for the new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, but then they have been giving them out with VIP over the last few weeks, and they're doing that for 7 weeks or so, which is something they've been doing for a while. My current traits on this medal are all the resist traits, which, in my opinion, are not very good. I guess the best one out of all of them is the poison resist, because you get damage contests, and normally it's the golden mushrooms with that, and they do tend to poison you. So if you're lucky enough to have a really strong attack medal that gets this, it's a good option to use that. But most cases, they're not handy at all. Okay, we are going to move on now. Right, we're moving on to cost medals, which aren't as useful as they used to be, but if you're a beginner, they can still be quite useful. I don't really need to use these as much. But basically, on your Keyblade, you'll have a cost, and when you put medals on, they do cost a lot, especially like your 6-star medals. So with the SIDS, basically you can add up to 20 SIDS on a particular medal, and it will lower the cost of the medal by 20. But there is something a little while back they added into the game, which I'll show you, which is very good for beginners, which I recommend you buy straight away with jewels. Let's find it. So many avatar boards that come out in this game. So many costumes. Here it is. I highly recommend new players getting this. This is a beginner's pack. I think it costs only a couple hundred jewels, so it's really cheap. And you get plus 40 cost straight off the bat for your Keyblade. And you also get a bunch of SIDS in this deal as well. Another way to get cost is obviously you can buy the in-game avatar boards. I think they come to about 3,000 jewels in total eventually when you want to get them all. But like these in-game avatar boards, as you level up, you get cost, HP, AP, which is a very big important thing as well. AP, you need AP to do quests in the game and progress. But the best time to obviously, I think, if you really want to crack down on story or anything, the best time to do it is when they do a 0 AP campaign. Honestly, you'll be able to do so many quests on 0 AP. So we're going to move on now. But before I do, I will just show you what it's like. Oh, I didn't mean to click that one. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. So just showing you as an example. Honestly, I've got so many of these. I don't mind using 2 of these on this medal. So at the moment, this medal will cost you 46 to put on your Keyblade. So you definitely want to use these on your medals so that you can actually use them on your Keyblades. So now he's got minus 20 on him, so he'll now only cost 26 to put on your Keyblade. So it's very important, basically. Alright, we're going to move on to the next thing. Moving on to our evolved medals. So you get Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, which are to evolve like certain medals. Like Flora is power, Fauna is speed, and Merryweather is magic. You've got Cheshire Cat, which evolves the lower tier medals. Same with Merlin, Fairy Godmother, and Yensid. And then of course Fantasia Mickey A's, which are very important to evolve 5 stars into 6 stars. And also another thing that Fantasia Mickey A's do, you evolve them into the Fantasia Mickey B's with the Broom Medals. Brooms are something you definitely want to try and get as many as of, because then you can just get as many as you want to get future medals for setups and whatnot. So just an example, 5 star medals. Right, here's some 5 stars I've got. So this 5-star one, obviously you need to max level out the medal to 80, and then this medal you evolve it with 3 Fantasia Mickey A's and 2 of the Flora medals that are 5-star. And same applies to 4 stars, 3 stars, so on. So the more you evolve the medal, the stronger it gets. Obviously the 6-star medals are the most powerful, but we had an update recently which is only towards Japan at the moment, but apparently all 6-star medals can evolve into 7-star medals. Don't know how that's going to work out in the long scheme of things, but that is something that's going to happen eventually in this version as well. Anyway, we are going to move on. And finally, you got your Moogle Medals, which basically do nothing. All you do is sell them, and that's how you'll get currency, which I'll show you right now. So also you can sell medals, but I wouldn't recommend it too much for beginners, just depending on what kind of medals. Say with me, these medals I can sell them because I've got so many. I've got gilded versions of them. I don't need them, they just take up space for me. So, and again, you just sell your Moogles. I'm not selling the Chippendales. Don't sell the Brooms, but I do sell these weaker Scrooge Metals because I honestly don't need them. And then this is how you get currency. Pretty simple. Now, there is a quest that is under VIP. So the best time I'd recommend doing this quest is when it's 0p, and also when it's available. It's not always a thing that's always in the game. I don't even know if it's a thing at the moment. But there is one quest that you can get that falls under VIP, where basically you can go in there and farm and farm and farm all those medals, all your Chippendales, your Evolve medals, your Fantasia Mickey A's, the Moogle medals. You can be set for a very long time. The only ones obviously are not the Brooms and the Mirrors. They're a little bit rarer cases to get them, but there is still always opportunities to get all these medals. And if you want to be a free-to-play player, that is fine. You can get certain quests on certain days. SIDs are always free. You can get 3 of them a day. So you can always stock up on SIDs every day. You get Adamantite or challenge quests, which are used to help you upgrade your Keyblades, which I will cover soon enough. And also you get a quest to get the materials to help you evolve a certain Keyblade, and you get the Moogle Glory quest, which is for another Keyblade, which is quite good to try and get for a beginner. These are all mainly locked behind VIP, but on certain days, certain quests you unlock. So on Tuesdays you'll get the Huey quest, Thursdays you'll get Louie, Dewey, Wednesday. This quest is available Friday. The Flora Medal Tuesday, so you can get Speed like on Thursdays, and then you can still get the Fantasia Mickey A and Yen Sids on Saturdays and Sundays. So you'll bet on certain days you'll be able to get materials for certain quests if you want to be solid free to play. Same with Adamantite Ore quest. They'll be available on certain days. I would wait until you maybe get a little bit stronger before tackling them if you're very brand new. And just progress, just do some story. Right, I'm gonna cover Keyblades now. Right, Keyblades. You'll notice a lot of mine are quite strong because I've been playing for the last 2 years. So, obviously the Keyblade you start off in the game is Starlight. This is one of the Keyblades I don't fully recommend getting past level 25 because you get much better Keyblades as you go. So this is really like a really good Keyblade to start off with. Now for setups in general, you always want to make sure you have a buffer medal on your Keyblades and try and put it to the front of the Keyblade as front as possible. But in this setup, in my case, I've got that extra attack on this medal, so I've put this medal before my buffer. So she will copy this medal twice for me and do all her buffs and everything for me. And then I've got this copycat medal because she can copy this one, so I'm doing the same attack with this medal. Or in some cases with some medals, like this one for example, HD Aqua EX, she adds an additional 30% guilt to your other medals guilt. So the best place probably for me to put her really is technically on the first slot, so every single medal is getting that buff. But she is quite a hard hitting medal, so depending on where you want to put your really hard hitting medals, also you do want to try and put them on the highest multiplier as you can. Now for leveling up Keyblades, you need your gems, which you can get quite a lot in the game. You get gem boards. If you notice in VIP, you can get gems occasionally in VIP. So you get gem boards, high score challenges, raid week, they give out gems for your party. So there's many ways of getting gems in this game, and I'll show you another way where you can get gems as well. But I kind of do suggest waiting until you get a few good decent medals to try and tackle some of these quests, because the meta is really high in this game and it's very hard for newer players. But you mainly want to use your gems and whatnot. Depending on which kind of medals you get determines what Keyblade you really want to focus on. I focused on quite a lot of Keyblades because I've got so many medals that I can mix about with and try different setups. Some Keyblades are only for Proud Mode, so I will cover which ones are the Proud Mode. Well, this one's the Moogle Glory, which is that quest that I showed you about. But all these ones you can get from normal story. So this is your first one you get at the beginning, Starlight. You get Treasure Trove when you get Snow White's World. Lady Luck from Wonderland. 3 Wishes from Agrabah. Olympia from Olympus Coliseum. And Divine Rose from Beauty and the Beast. You do get some other ones, I will cover them. Moogle Glory is that Moogle Glory quest. You'll get it straight away from the very first quest. And then in order to level it up, you have to get all the items from the particular quest so you can do them. They are a bit tricky to level up or get it fully 100% because the enemies are actually quite random. Some quests say that you have to beat 15 enemies, but you might end up only killing 9 because it just depends. So I would put like a rare enemy perk on your character. I will cover perks, but anyway, this is the first Proud mode Keyblade. You can get the Lion, Sleeping Lion. And the only way to level these up to plus 25, you need to collect the Electrum Ores, which are from the Proud mode quests. If you're a beginner, I do not recommend trying to attempt Proud mode at the stage, because Proud mode you have to use certain medals, and they changed a lot of Proud mode quests where a lot of them are very difficult to get past if you're a new player. Anyway, later on you do get Counterpoint, which is a magic uprate focus Keyblade, and Sleeping Lion's a speed uprate Keyblade. So you get Struck at Midnight when you hit Cinderella's World. This is the Fenrir, which is the upright power equivalent to Sleeping Lion, and Counterpoint. Right, these are more Proud Mode Keyblades, which you get a lot later down the line, and these are a bit harder to level up because you need the Dark Matters, which you get from the Proud Mode quests, and they are a lot trickier to do. But these are more or less the reverse versions of the other 3 Keyblades. And these ones are a little bit harder to level up because they're very scarce, the Moon Gems, because you need Moon Gems to upgrade these past 25. It's the same with these. Once you get the right amount of Electromals to upgrade these Keyblades, you then need Sun Gems to upgrade them. And then eventually you just go for power, magic, and so on and so forth. And I think the maximum level you can get a Keyblade up to is plus 40, which not many people have done. So this one's my strongest Keyblade at the moment, my Fairy Stars. It's probably definitely one of the best Keyblades in the game. You can do so many good setups with Fairy Stars. Like, you've got just the only slot is kind of hard is the first one because you always end up putting a buffer on there, more or less. But when you get to Enchanted Mini, I highly recommend getting your Fairy Star up to a very decent level. And the last Keyblade that we've had in the game, which is another Proud Mode one, is Diamond Dust. And this is my strongest Proud Mode Keyblade out of the reverse ones. Same. Also, with medals you put on this, you can actually check and see which medals have traits on. If you want to just double check, if you don't want to keep looking at the medals, you can do that. Now, I'm going to quickly cover where you can also get more gems quickly before we move on. I'm really hoping my explanation is helping people. So, this is a regular thing. Before, this was a weekly thing where you could get a weekly gem, and each week it will be different, but now they've changed it to monthly. So this will be here for the whole month, and you can get a power, a speed, and a magic gem. These ones are quite harder than past ones, so again, I would wait until you get a lot stronger because you can get gems from avatar boards that eventually come out. They are the best buck to your money, in a sense, with jewels. Now, we're going to move on to other things now. Okay, now we're going to move on to events, which some for beginners are going to be very tricky. Like this kind of quest at the moment, this is an on and off quest that we get in the game. It's a Moon Gem quest. I don't recommend for a very new player unless you've got Kairi or Shioni X, because they are the best buffer medals in the game and they will help you so much. But best event quests for you to start off with, I would recommend these kind of quests because you can get jewels and it is basically maneuvering around Heartless. Like, I'll show you for example. What's this up? See if I'll hurry up. I've already done this, but just an example. You basically just run around Heartless to get to the target within the set amount of time, and if you get all of them complete, you'll get jewels, which is very, very good, especially as we're getting a 2nd anniversary coming up. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, you get to the target, try and get to the target in a set amount of time. I've already beaten it, so it doesn't matter. But I'd recommend like tapping. And you get 3 jewels, and this is a quest that you want to make sure you do every single day. Get the jewels. Boom. Now, another event we've got on at the moment, which will be very, very hard for new to play players, unless you've got extremely lucky with certain medals. But this is my current ranking in the high score challenge. 54 million, and it's for the new King Triton medal, which is quite a good medal if you're lucky enough to get it. If you get in the top 5,000, you at least will get a copy of the medal, and you get various other rewards. You get magic mirrors, again gems, you get Chippendales. So there are many options for you to get all these materials in the game, even being free to play. Just sometimes when you're free to play, you just get things a little bit slower than most people. And then of course you have got these quests which are for sun gems. Some of the quests are kind of simple enough, like the lower level quests. Let's go here. So if you get high enough, you can probably pass a couple of these beginner ones, but then after that I would wait until you've at least got some more decent setups. I mean, this is a good start for some people that are starting off. You can get a couple of free medals, like these Donald. You can get some skills. You can get some attack medals. Donald the Deers, more Donalds, and the final quest you'll get 3 mirrors for doing it. So I do recommend at least doing that quest. So story, simple quest that if you're a new player, I recommend just doing these kind of quests. I wouldn't try tackling other things that are really difficult for you till you really get a good grip of the game, getting good medals and whatnot. Anyway, we're going to move on now. Okay, now we're going to cover other stuff. So again, you've got events there. There's your story, pretty straightforward. Union Cross is multiplayer, which most of the time in general it's a weekly thing. And if you're a new player, my best recommendation is being in a good party that has people with really strong setups, and try and do like the bonus hour. There's set bonus times. Like it'll tell you in the notice here what the bonus times is. If you're in a good party and you arrange to do your bonus times, they will be a little bit harder, but you can basically be the one person to be in the background, and if someone dies you can use your attack to heal the player and so forth. But the best time to do is the bonus time, and if your medals aren't strong like other players, let them do the damage, because you'll still get rewards and things. You'll still get coins, and getting your crossboards done within, sometimes you can do it within the first day of doing it, but you can get brooms, boosters, SIDs, mirrors from doing these. So sometimes some of these are weekly ones. And also, best time, I think, especially for new players if they want to get into the game, is try and do it when they're doing event medals, because these are older medals, but for a newer player they will be a lifesaver. I remember when the game was first new out and there wasn't many buffers, the Nick and Judy medals were fantastic for me, and they helped me get through so many quests. So getting new free medals, it's all good. Coliseum, I would say you can start off, because some of the enemies are quite weak and stuff, but as you progress, like me, I'm stuck. This enemy is like plus 5,000 HP. But if you can get through a few of the tip rounds and try and get most of the boards done, because you get more Chippendales and skills in the Coliseum boards. Some of the mirror ones are quite high costly, but as you progress through the game, you'll get stronger and you can get a little bit further. But traits also do matter in Coliseum, especially like -60 air and ground, that deals more damage. And with setups, you do need to really lower the general defense down and really buff up yourself as well. Each month, this is a monthly thing, and they introduce new skills. Like this is the newest Second Chance 4 is a new skill, so a lot of people are trying to get as many copies of that. But honestly, if you're a new player, I would not worry about if you don't get the skill from Coliseum, because later on they release a new avatar board, and you can get the skill from the avatar board. So there's going to be opportunities where you can get all this stuff and help you progress through your game and whatnot. And just trying to think what else to cover, really. So yeah, avatar boards, just make sure you do your avatar boards because you'll need all the AP. The maximum AP you can get is 198. I don't know if they'll ever increase it. They haven't done it in JP. And you can also get Chippendales and things eventually, and SIDs in all your avatar boards. There is a thing in JP, they have these ones that you use VIP coins on, but you only get the VIP coins from pulling from banners. And you can basically then use these VIP coins on the VIP boards, and you can get mirrors and brooms through them. And that's kind of nice. So if you get like really bad pulls, you can at least then go to the VIP board and get yourself more mirrors and whatnot. But that is not the case in Global as of the moment. So just take that with a grain of salt. That one, bit saltiness that we still haven't got that in our game. But another thing is just make sure you log on every day. You can get so many jewels every day. So you can get a maximum just from logging in, doing your daily jewels and getting your party weekly jewels. You can get up to just over 4,000 jewels a week just from that, and that's except Union Cross and like the time attack where you can get jewels from that. So you do want to try and join a really good party that are really strong players, and they will really, it can really help you progress through the game and getting all your jewels and things. Now we're gonna, no, we don't want that. No, we highly recommend don't purchase jewels, because if you do ever want to put money in the game, I would wait for the right kind of VIP, like when they give out a VIP medal with the additional 1,400 jewels, and also when they're doing brooms. That's the only time I recommend getting VIP. Now we're going to cover banners, which are very deadly. Now, we get banners all the time, and they're always releasing like brand new EX medals. This Sephiroth, I believe, is at least 3 weeks early into our version because we're still missing a few tier 7s that we got in JP. But they always do this, and they will probably eventually release them. Right, if you're a brand new player, these two banners right here are going to be your best friend. This banner, you're guaranteed a decent buffer medal at 0.2 carry. She raises your strength by 6. Your PSM D strength, I think. It's PSM? I think it tells you here. Yeah. So yeah, PSM. Yeah. So your regular strength by 6 and PSM strength by 1 tier for one turn, and lowers enemies' defense. So she'll and plus, if you can get extra attack on this, you'll get maximum strength buff and lower their general defense. Also, you're guaranteed one of these 3 copycat key art medals. They copy the medal before them. So if you have your 0.2 Kyrie and then your copycat key art, it will copy your Kyrie. So it's a very good deal for beginners. This one is also quite good, but I don't recommend pulling it all the time. Just on occasion, because if you want to be free to play players, roughly a month can probably get about 22,000 jewels just for logging in and getting daily jewels, if they don't spend on any banners. But just on occasion, if you want to try your luck, because they included Illustrated Kyrie X and Shioni X. That's Illustrated Shioni X. I think this picture's done it. Yes, so these two are the best buffer medals in the game. And then you've got a chance of getting KHT Nominee. She's a tier 7 copycat medal. And then you got HD Nominee, who's a tier 5. But copycat medals have very good value in the game. Trading, guilting, because you can copy all your medals. You can, for certain setups, you can put your copycat medal on your pet slot, which I will cover pets as well. I need to cover pets. On your pet slot, and you can copy one of your friends' attack medals in your party and use it as your own. But these two are also very good for beginners if you aren't that lucky enough to get these two, because you'll struggle for gauges eventually as you carry on in the game. She'll restore 10 gauges for you. 0.2 Kyrie is a good buff medal, but these are like the rarest from this deal. So also, if you're very brand new, at least a couple of pulls I think is really good once a day, because you get a tier 6, and tier 6 and up are fantastic medals, so you're guaranteed one of these. And again, why I think you should at least maybe do one, because you'll get a second chance skill, which second chance is good for beginners, but second chance 2 and up are much better because they have a higher rate of activating. Again, second chance, if you die, it'll percent chance activate and you'll get revived, so you can attempt to continue the quest without hopefully dying again. And it once works per fight in like a quest. So say you be activated from one group of enemies and you die, but then your next turn you defeat them. When you go to the next group of enemies, you have a chance of having your second chance activate again. Anyway, let's cover pets now. Pets are a new mechanic we've only had in our version for a few months. But as you rank up your pet, you're going to get certain skills that the pet will have. So I think rank 1 is Blast 1. So I think when your enemy is at a certain percentage, it will do a single hit of damage worth 10,000. My highest recommendation is getting your pet rank up to 5, because for pet rank 4 you'll get a sooner. So say you get poisoned or anything, it will activate and it will cure you of paralysis, poison or sleep. And then rank 5, you want this skill because it's an additional second chance. So when you're in quests, you will, let's say you die, this one will always activate straight away and you'll revive. So you get that and your additional second chance. So you get at least 2 second chances to you know, revive and continue the quest. So my current pet rank is 7. So as you rank up your pet, the pet rank slot, the pet slot will go up as well, the multiplier. And it's a neutral slot, so any medal is fine on your pet slot, especially like your copycat medals. And of course, the higher, the maximum pet rank experience on a medal is 80. So these kind of medals, like the Suruku that I've got, is a pet rank 80. But when you do trait your medals, that pet rank does go up on them, and it goes up to 96, and the maximum pet rank is pet rank 9, and that has a unique buff where I think it goes past 1 extra level of the max buff for everything. And then of course you've got your character where you can see all your progress and everything. I've been playing the game for 543. I have been playing it since day 1, but there was a period of time I wasn't having time to play this, but I do play this as much as possible. So yeah, you see your weekly ranking, your Coliseum ranking, whatnot, and you can customize yourself. Best perks I would put on your character is skill perks, because if you do use skills that aren't 100% will trigger, your skill perks will raise the percent chance of that particular skill activating. The maximum is 35, but I'll show you accessories. Alright, So different perks you do get is skill perks, obviously critical hit perks, rare enemy perks, item drop perks, raid boss perks, and omega raid boss perks. Skill perks, which I've just covered, critical hit perks, I think are best in high score challenges. Rare enemies, I think mainly for Union Cross, and item drop for Union Cross if you want a higher chance of that event medals dropping and whatnot. And then raid boss perk and omega raid boss perks are basically if you want a certain enemy to spawn and you want a raid boss to spawn regularly. But I'm saying you just, I think that is mainly majority of everything I can really think of what to teach people for the game. But yeah, I think the last thing is mainly banners in general. Think about what kind of keyblades you've got, what kind of setups you want. Do look at the banners before you pull on them and decide if this is a medal you need or whatnot, because honestly better medals do come out all the time. Some are going to be irrelevant in the future, so most of the time just do what you want to do in the game and enjoy it to how you want to play it. And that's really all I can teach you. I've covered everything, majority I think of things. So yeah, if you've got any more questions that I've not covered, whatnot, then just answer in the comments below. Oh yeah, one last thing. The max level in the game is level 300, but eventually it is going to go up to 500. And there's not going to be many boards, but from level 350 there's a board where you'll get 5,000 jewels. And then I think level 400 is the same, 450 and 500. But it does take a lot to level up. But the best way to level up for a beginner is weekend raid boss, especially with how strong and how much HP and lux they drop. You'll level up so quickly, like no tomorrow. Like when I joined JP back in September last year, I think it took me 4 days to get up to level 300. Mainly because I knew how to play the game and everything, and some decent banners came out, and I got quite lucky with the medals I got. And also for raiding, Lux Plus max skills with Lux Plus are the best avatar boards you can get, because Lux skills are amazing. And also max skills with like lower cost. So if you've got a very high cost medal, I recommend putting those kind of skills on your high cost medals. So say it costs 4 to use, and then you put one that make a skill on it where you use it, it will only cost 2 instead. Honestly, those kind of things are probably all the best things to use your jewels on, not just chasing after medals in the game. But anyway, that is really all I can teach you guys. And again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. And take care guys, and thanks for watching. And sorry this is a very long video, but there was a lot of stuff in the game. Anyway, take care guys, bye!